Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another daily Marvel Snap video. Today we have a build by Nasir that they dubbed the Hela Casino. Now this may not look like your ordinary Hela deck, and that's because it doesn't operate the exact same. It does have the same core components where you want to discard cards and then resummon them with Hela, but she is not your only win condition. So whenever I think of a good list, something like a negative serotonin or a list that is just polarizing, the one thing that they have in common is that they are not set on just one particular card to find their win condition. And so this list has several ways to position yourself so that you can win those matches. And so some games, Sandman is going to be your optimal play line. If it is going to be, and a spoiler disclaimer, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, mute the video until I give you the thumbs up, because I don't want to give any spoilers if you don't want to hear them. And so 3, 2, 1. Next season is going to be a card called Zabu, and he is a stat reduction card. He is like Sarah, just buffed up massively. He is a 3-cost card that's been data mined anyways. It could change. A 3-cost card that reduces the cost of 4-cost cards by 2. And so on turn 4, you're going to be able to play 2 4-cost cards. On 5, you can do 2. On 6, you can do 3. If you combine that with Sarah, you can throw so many cards onto the board that Sandman may be an optimal strategy for next season, at least while we're seeing Zabu all over the place. And then the next win condition is going to be a leader. If you discard Hela, a lot of times, at least my gut instinct, is to snap on that opponent. If I see a Hela that has been discarded, I'm going to snap. And leader allows you to kind of have that flexibility. As long as you can outpace your opponent, you have that surprise factor of dropping your leader and then copying whatever they play on that last turn. A lot of times you can get big cubes out of that interaction. And then our natural win condition of Hela. She can do some insane swings, and with this list, it is built to be consistent. It is not built to have the insane high roll. That's why we don't have more high cost cards. We don't have a death for the guaranteed trigger from Lady Sif. We just have a consistent power resummon and just utility to be able to counter any kind of big plays that we're seeing. I will leave a link to Nasir's write-up in the description below. We're going to go ahead and jump over to a couple of games. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, first up, we're going against Zinc, and the first location is cloning vats, and so we could play our Lady Sif over there a couple of times to continue to discard cards, at least until we draw into our Hela, or maybe we do something different. Maybe we throw a Swordmaster over and over. Since we don't necessarily have anything ideal to discard, Swordmaster can just be that random component, and then we could just keep dropping that 6-power card onto the board. Or maybe on turn 4, we go with a Sandman. They haven't played anything, so we have no idea what playline they're going with. We're going to go ahead and do the Lady Sif. Actually, I don't know that we need to bring her back into our hand. I'm just going to do Lady Sif into Lemuria. That's going to discard our Captain Marvel, and then we can kind of move on from there. So they do play 1 card in Gamma Lab in their Lizard, so they do have 1 Hulk. We probably could have played the Lady Sif over there, just I don't know why we didn't. It would have been better or more optimal to just play it into Gamma Lab. Don't be me, guys. Play your Lady Sif into Gamma Lab. It can be targeted by a Shang-Chi, but at least we're tied, and then they have to go that extra step to do it. Don't be me, guys. We're going to go ahead and play our Hell Cow. We're going to discard 2 of our cards that are in our hand. We still have our 2 big key factors in our deck still. We have our Hela and we have our leader. And so we're just looking for which one that is going to be, and then we'll kind of decide what play path. Now, obviously, with how many cards we've discarded, Hela is going to be a little bit better. But if that doesn't happen, then we will kind of go from there. We will address it as we go. We have a 50-50 shot at drawing into the card that we need next turn. I think we're going to stick this one out. We're going to go with the Hell Cow here. We're going to discard a couple of more resources from our hand. They know that we don't have anything bigger than Red Skull, but we have 2 shots to draw into a card we need. We could either draw into Hela or we could draw into Leader. Hela is going to be our ideal card to draw into, and we do get lucky. We do find the Hela. We could have done a Leader as well. A Leader here might have allowed us to find enough tempo advantage versus what they're playing to find a win as well. Let's go ahead and go with the leader play into the Gamma Lab. That's going to resummon a lot of cards. We have our Captain Marvel that can move around the board. We have a big Infinite. We have the Red Skull. We have lesser so. We have Sandman, and Killmonger, but we do have some good resources here. So go ahead and copy our Hela with your leader. We have a lot of power coming your way. As long as it doesn't all stack into one lane, then we are absolutely fine here. Oh my gosh. It tried its best, but we did discard enough power that it didn't matter. It wanted to push all of it into the cloning vats. It wanted to stack it poorly. But we do have the Rover of Captain Marvel. She could have moved over into Lemuria, even if this card hadn't, even if Killmonger had not summoned there. We had that flexibility piece. And so we push a little bit of power into cloning vats. We do get the win. The leader was non-impactful for them. That is one of my favorite things about Hela. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Corman. The first location is Sokovia. It discards their Devil Dino, but it discards our Hellcow. That is one of our big discard units in the deck. I think one of their big win conditions for Corman is going to be the Devil Dino. Let's jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Lu, and the first location is Sanctum Sanctorum. This deck is phenomenal for Sanctum Sanctorum. Not only does it have a Captain Marvel to move over there, but it can also resummon cards with our Hela. And so we also have our Invisible Woman. I'm going to place that into the third location. The middle one is Murder World. We don't want Invisible Woman murdered, and so we're going to play Invisible Woman over here. And then we might... Oh my gosh, what is this game? Then World Ship comes down as the last location. I'm going to skip 1-3. They get our Invisible Woman ability. Not great. Definitely not great. I'm going to skip 1-5 as well. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. So we're going to play the Infinite. I skipped on 4 when I should have played a card, but we have to deal with it. They do use an Iron Man into a Wolfsbane, which is going to be big. That is going to not be quite enough though. Wow. Wow. All right, next up we have J Cuts. The first location is Murder World. We have in our starting hand, we have our leader, we have our Red Skull, we have Sandman. They do play Hood into Murder World, so that is going to get destroyed here. And then Project Pegasus comes down. Do we want to go ahead and play our leader? A copy of whatever they play. We could also go with Sandman or Red Skull or Captain Marvel, but then if they use a leader of their own, I'm worried. We're going to go with the leader play line with into the Project Pegasus. We're going to copy whatever they played. The Sarah for the card reduction is big. The Sandman comes down, or the Korg comes down and sends a rock into their deck. They send one into ours. We can play Sandman here on turn 3, which I think we do go with. I'm okay with not playing a lot of cards onto the board. With them using Sarah, I assume they want to flood a lot of power and a lot of cards out. I'm going to use Sandman. We're not going to play it into Gamma Lab because we need the ongoing ability to remain on the board. He's going to limit them. Oh, the Beast bounces these cards back into his hand. He's not going to be able to play those after this turn. The Black Widow and the Demon. Oh, the Black Widow is a nasty one. We're not going to be able to draw into any cards here unless we sacrifice a full turn for the Widow's Bite. Unfortunate play, my friend. Unfortunate for us. You know, I'm actually going to go with the Red Skull. We're not going to draw anything. We're not going to take the downside of the Widow's Bite. We're just going to keep it. We're not going to draw into any more cards. We'll play Red Skull. They can only play 1 card per turn. Next turn, we can go with something like a Magneto into the Project Pegasus lane. And we have several turns to try. They waste one of their turns using the armor. So now if they do a leader, that's not fantastic for us. Because they would copy, if they play their leader here, they would copy our Magneto. Oh wait, this is only turn 5. What am I thinking? We have the card reduction from the Sarah, so they could play leader here. I'm gonna go ahead and play our Captain Marvel onto the board. She'll act as a rover. Next turn we can go with a Magneto play, and then that's what we're gonna go with. We'll see if they use the leader here. No, they use a Cosmo, which is actually fine. We're okay with the Cosmo. What could they be running? Maybe a Hawk? That would be a 15 power Hawk. But we do have the Magneto. Captain Marvel will be able to move over. And so we would win this lane by 1 if they used Hawk here. We're going to go with it. We're going to lock that in. We're going to see what they play. They play a card over. Oh no, the Shang-Chi comes down. But we have the Captain Marvel, which is able to move over into Murder World after everything triggers. So the Shang-Chi was not quite the right play line. I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of behooved that they stuck it out and they allowed us to get the 4 cubes. I am glad that they stayed. Maybe they didn't see the Captain Marvel come down, or maybe they just had the play line already lined out in their head. But we do get the 4 cube win. Let's go ahead and jump over into the next one. All right, next up we have Crossfate. The first location is the Bifrost, so cards are going to move. We don't really play too much. We don't really play too many cards on high tempo. If they are dropping any kind of 1-cost cards, we'll be able to counter it with a Killmonger. If this turns out to be Gamma Lab, no, it's the Nexus. So that's kind of scary. We can't really control where Hela's power resummons to. Maybe we just avoid that and we go something like Magneto to pull their cards out. I don't know. Let's go with Killmonger just on curve. I don't think they're going to run that. Ooh, the Maximus is kind of scary. Are they going to use a Leech? If so, that gives us a phenomenal turn 6 play. As long as we don't discard it. We're going to go Hellcow. We're going to discard 2 cards here. They're going to get a copy of our Leader, our Hela, our Magneto, or our Infinite. We do discard the Leader and we discard the Infinite. So whenever Hela resummons, she's going to push a lot more power out onto the board. We're going to be able to copy whatever they play on that last turn as long as space permits. It doesn't feel great. It's only an 8 power play, but we are going to go with Red Skull into the Nexus, and we'll see what they end up dropping. They play a Vision. They're probably going to want to bounce that, or they typically would want to bounce that around, but they don't really want to do that this time. So the 2 cards we discarded, one was Infinite, and one was... What was the other one? The other one was Leader. So we're going to play Hela just into the Bifrost. We'll see. We'll see. If they have something to completely lock this one down, then that becomes tough. Our Hela is going to resummon. It's going to play Leader, which will copy whatever they play. If they use a Leader of their own, it'll copy a Hela, which does not give them as much value out of their cards as our Hela does. And so let's go ahead and lock it in. They do play the Shang-Chi, which is unfortunate in the Nexus location. We're going to need for our Infinite to be resummoned over into the Nexus location. That is really our only chance. Gosh, it does. Sometimes you go to the casino and you win. We're going to go ahead and end it on that one. I don't think we can go up from here. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about the Series 3 builds that I'm bringing back. I do want to focus on decks that you guys are able to build, but that are still competitive. So let me know how you're liking them in the comment section down below. And as always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.